Tim Foreman from Switchfoot. Good day to you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Tim?
I am really well. It's not every day that you meet someone that shares your name, but I think like it's first thing in the morning here, so this is a great way to start the day. So,
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I think first things first, because we've got to talk about your album soon, and I'm really looking forward to hearing that and the process that you guys undertook. But actually got to get something out of the way first. It's this thing called an eggvocado.
Yeah.
Now I don't
There
know
it
if you can
is.
see this. The
Yeah.
idea is that the avocado is cut in half. You remove the seed and put in a boiled egg. Genius idea. Genius.
Thank you.
Um,
I appreciate that.
but there's one thing, Tim. I saw you eating an eggvocado recently. Yeah.
Yep.
How did you eat this? How did you eat this?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'd recommend a spoon, but if you're really just want to go for it, then no utensils needed.
Because the
Just
thing
get
is
in
this,
there.
on the video that I saw of you eating this, it cut out just as you went like this.
Uh-huh.
And I was going, did he just eat the skin of the avocado?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
No. Oh man, that'd be legendary though. Just the whole thing.
Just the whole thing, eating the
Yeah,
skin.
that's right. The skin's the best part for you, right? Isn't that what they always say?
Who knows what they're saying? They're saying all kinds of things, Tim. Wow. Okay. So anyway, shall we just try this? I mean, it's a little bit messy here, but
yeah, let's get a demonstration.
I just ate the skin.
With the skin. Wow. What a boss.
I wouldn't recommend eating the skin because it's not as tasty, but
it's a little bitter.
But I just did that for you, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah. No, that was radio gold right there, as they say.
Yeah. Nothing like a visual gag for radio. Okay. So I want to talk about the fact that, okay, so when we're talking about Switchfoot, we're not just talking about a band, are we? You guys are involved in so many different aspects of life. And I like that. That we're not just talking about, a great band, although that's what you are. It's more than that, and you've been around for so long as well. So I think so many things have come and gone over the years. But like since the late 90s, I think about that era, and I think about all the different fads that have come and gone through that time, just in my life, and how much that I've changed in that time. And then I think about, hey, back in the late 90s, Switchfoot was there. And I think about all the changes through my life in the last 20 odd years. And I'm going, man, Switchfoot is still there. They're doing some great stuff all the time. How do you keep that and sustain that level of creativity and consistency?
Well, thank you. I think we just love what we do. We love what we do. And most of the time we get along really well with each other, so like I think we've been through a lot together as a band, and every time you go through kind of a valley or something, and you come out the other side, if it doesn't break you, you kind of add that to your memory bank of things that you've been through, where you remember times that the other guys have picked you up and pulled you through. And so I can honestly say that we're closer as a band than we've ever been, and I would definitely add 2020 to that list, of things that we had to kind of dig down and figure out, okay, what is our band's voice in this year? What do we do? What can we do? We can't tour, that's kind of been what we normally do to bring hope to the world. What do we do? And so pivoting and doing live streams and just trying to do what we can to kind of feel the moment and be a part of it, and also move beyond it.
Wow, that's inspiring. I think I'm sorry, just as I get some avocado skin out of my teeth. I was going to say, like, I feel like creativity isn't just something that you kind of achieve on an album, but it's more of a lifestyle. It's a choice that you've decided to do the hard work of creativity every day. Can you talk to me just about your, because I know that when we're talking about you, we're talking about you as an individual, Tim, and also as a band unit. And so this question is open to both both of those realms. Talk to me about your creativity that you develop in your own life.
Yeah, I think it was really, we went on a hiatus for the first time ever 3 years ago. We took an entire year off the road. We'd never done that. And this is going back to when I was in high school. We started this band when I was in high school. So that was a radical shift for me. And I think it kind of became this existential experiment of what does a musician look like when he isn't doing musician things? You know, does he just stop playing guitar? You know, and it was this realization that I would be doing what I'm doing whether I was getting paid for it or not. The occupation of a musician was almost irrelevant. And I found myself picking up the guitar, the bass, playing the piano more than ever before. And it was this beautiful thing, you know, to realize that that's just who I am. It's what I love to do. And it's part of my mental health and stability. And, you know, so I think during this last year that we were all kind of trying to find those things, you know, examining every, it was like taking apart like a Lego set, you know, examining every brick and seeing which ones need to stay and which ones need to go. And music was definitely one of those things that it was really foundational for all of us, you know, and I think that drove a real creative season for us. We worked on a new album and, you know, started doing these live streams from all sorts of wacky places, including a hot air balloon. And I think we'll look back on this year as, you know, as definitely a hard year for all of us, but something that we're really proud of too.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, you know, I had a band in high school as well. And we went on a hiatus straight away. And we're still on that hiatus, just,
That's
you know,
right.
just kind of like treading water there for a little bit. No, I appreciate
but when you come back from hiatus, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, man. Because
People
how
are
long
gonna
was
go
your
nuts.
hiatus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, well, how long was your hiatus? It was like, you know,
Yeah.
a small
Ours
amount.
was just a year. Yours was like what, 25 years?
Ours has been a very long time. So just wait, just you wait. That's cool. Okay, so let's talk about those last 18 months. All right. So just because you use the word pivot, and a lot of people have had to adjust. A lot of people have had to change just with the way that they're doing. You know, we're doing the same thing, but we're doing it in different ways because we have to adjust. Talk to me about those adjustment periods for you, and how have, I guess, like, what's been encouraging and inspiring for you in that kind of time? Because a lot of people have, like, we know the struggle is real. We know that a lot of people have hit a lot of road bumps and there's been valleys. Talk to me about some of the things that have helped inspire you and encourage you through this last time.
Yeah, I think our live streams really were this moment for us where we were able to connect with people. You know, we would have this chat going while we were doing our live streams, and people start logging on and sharing, you know, the things that they're going through, dealing with, encouraging each other. And it became this thing where people would show up like 2 hours before the live stream started. And we started showing up early too, and just kind of like reading the comments and seeing this beautiful community pick each other up and carry each other through this moment. And so that was really encouraging to see. I think anytime we're reminded that we're just part of a much larger story, and, you know, the live stream is just kind of this small thing, but the real thing that's happening is this community and all these lives around the globe that wouldn't be connected except for this moment and this wacky thing that we're all going through. And I think those moments of seeing beauty from the ashes of something that was really challenging gives me hope. Because that's all we are. That's what our lives are. You know, it's just most of life is adversity and struggle, and then you have those glimpses of the things that the struggle brought you to. You know, and I think that keeps you going.
That's cool, isn't it? Hey, I think like, so you guys obviously love to record an album. Is number 11 about to be released. And I want to talk about it in a sec. But I guess, has that also been a contributing factor? Because a lot of people during the last 18 months have kind of gone inward. They've tried new things. And so what is trying new things, and what is that creative process that, like, can you do? So you've got your own studio, so that's helpful.
Yep.
Because, you know, during lockdown you can just go straight to the studio, right? So how did this album kind of come about? Talk to me about the beginnings of that, and how the band kind of thought we need to do an album.
Yeah. So the start of lockdown here in California, everything was, you know, pretty hardcore. And so our studios went dark. We were staying in our own houses. So just kind of connecting with each other via Zoom for a couple months. You know, they even closed the oceans. And that was like, for us, that was the darkest moment of just kind of like, wow, these things that you never thought would go away suddenly are gone. And so we're, you know, connecting with each other via Zoom, trying to work on ideas, which is really tough when you're home and kids are online school, and, you know, all of those challenges that we all went through, right? So when we were able to get back into our studio, that was like just this incredible gift. And we'd show up every day just feeling like we were so lucky that we get to have this space to make music together. And the crazy thing is, then we decided to embrace the moment, and rather than stay in this bubble of our studio, to get outside of our comfort zone and go to a different studio in LA to make the record. And the reason was we wanted to make a record that really met the moment. The album's called Interrobang, which is a question mark on top of an exclamation mark. Two things that seem in tension with each other, finding harmony. And we felt like that's what the year was. We worked with a producer who, in our very first conversation, identified himself as an aggressive atheist. And every day we'd show up at the studio, his studio, not ours. It's one of the most famous studios in LA called Sound City, where a lot of our favorite records were made. Yeah. We'd show up and we'd debate and fight about almost everything you could imagine on the planet. But then we always agreed about the music, you know, and he really pushed us, and I think we pushed him. And the goal was to get to a destination that neither one of us would arrive at any other way. That's the question mark and an exclamation mark. That's the two things, you know. It became this big experiment. Can you make beauty with people that you disagree with?
Wow.
You know, can you stay in the fight respectfully and love each other, even if you both walk away completely disagreeing? I feel like as a globe, as a country, as a society, we've lost our ability to wrestle through things together. You know, we just kind of turn off rather than engage. And I think that's, you know, growth happens through adversity and sharpening each other. And I think that's what this record became for us.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for that, because we see polarization so much in society and culture, as you just mentioned, and a lot of we also see a lot of examples of what not to do when it comes to disagreement and how to not get along. So thank you for doing that well. And so we can when we listen to this upcoming album coming out in August 20 here in Australia, we'll be able to experience a beautiful art piece that was created and forged in the face of a polarizing society. And so I'm looking forward to hearing it. I've heard the 3 tracks that you've released so far, and it's sounding great. Like, it's sounding different for sure. And I think obviously that's something that you guys have decided and been intentional about. We want to sound different. We want to capture the sound of right now. And I'm excited by that. Seems to be really well received so far.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, this album of all albums, you know, we try and disengage from the nagging person in the back of your mind that's, you know, asking, is anyone else going to like this? Because you really don't know, you know. And the best pulse that your finger on a pulse that you have is, well, do I like it? You know? And so we try and tap into that primarily, but this record in particular, we felt like Wow. Nothing is granted. You know, if 2020 awakened us to anything, it's the concept that every day is a gift. And we can't take for granted that we're going to make another 2 or 3 or 10 albums, you know. Let's make this record as if it was our last, and let's make, you know, let's go for the lofty goal of really making the most ambitious record that we could ever make.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, hey, I wouldn't put it past you guys doing another 20 albums or so, because I know that we've run out of time and stuff. But so I was going to say, talk about dripping taps, and I feel like you guys are a dripping tap in the sense that there's like, if you could imagine, I once saw a slab of concrete, right, and it had a tap at the end of the concrete, and it was dripping the whole time. And right where the drip would hit, there was this big divot in the cement. And I just think about, you know, about the sheets of rain that would come and slather that slab, but it doesn't make any difference. But someone who's just doing their thing, day after day, year after year, and that's what you guys have been. You've been true to yourself. You said you loved what you've done, and you've got along well with each other, and it's obviously making a difference. So I just wanted to say thank you for being a dripping tap.
Oh, thanks, man. I like that.
That's cool.
I'm going to use that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that. So, hey, thanks so much for your time. I wanted to say thank you for not just being a band. We would have liked to have talked about your Surf the Bro-Am as well, like, and how that's changed. Do we have time for that?
Sounds good to me. Yeah,
how's it looking now that you've had to change?
Yeah, so we've this was our second year having to go virtual, you know, and it's been beautiful that, you know, the support around these kids that Bro-Am supports is just tremendous here in our community and around the globe. So people logged on from around the world to support these kids, and it's great. It was our if I remember right, I think this was our 17th year. So we're looking forward to year 18 being back, you know, in person on the beach, and you know, really thankful to be able to give back within our community. In fact, the whole idea of Bro-Am started on a flight back from Australia.
Oh, really?
Yep. Just thinking about how thankful we were for our community in San Diego, missing home. You know, we'd been gone, traveling around the globe for a while, and thinking, okay, if we were to create something that could give back to our community, what would it look like? And being surfers, we started with, okay, well, surf contest. And then we added in a stage, you know, a few years later, and it grew into this one-day festival that's, you know, just, it's crazy. It's 15,000 people on this little tiny sleepy beach that we grew up surfing, that, you know, used to only have a couple hundred at the most, you know. And it's beautiful because it's all supporting these kids. So, you know, feel free to look it up, broam.org, and get involved. And it's a great thing.
We'll share the link below. So thank you once again, Tim Foreman, for not just being a band, because you're not just a band. Although you've got over 20 years experience, over 10 million odd albums sold, 11 albums created, including double platinum and Grammy award winning, TV shows, movies, sold out tours, 5 million tickets in over 40 countries, raised millions through Bro-Am, and a bunch of songs that we enjoy and we are inspired by every day here on 96.5. Thank you so much for being more than a band, Tim Foreman. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Good talking to you. I appreciate it.